Hey YouTube, so I'm going to get into why I feel like Pisces women have a hard time in relationships. I think it is the karmic wheel and the reincarnation of a Pisces is why we have a hard time in relationships. Just check out my last video and that will explain a little bit because I'm starting to understand why a Pisces, a Cancer, and a Scorpio do have a rough time. I'm not saying all Pisces have a rough time with love or Cancers or Scorpios. I'm just talking about experiences I've seen, what I've ever gone through, and just from other people like celebrities, personal stories, just from my research and experiences is why I feel this way. So when we look back, because they say Pisces and Scorpios go way back. If you check out some of the videos on YouTube when they talk about Pisces and Scorpio relationships, you will see how there is a reason why we are together and why we meet each other and why the bond with each Pisces and Scorpio is so heavy and it clicks so fast. And it's weird because it just seems to draw us in. A Cancer and a Pisces as well. And it's because in our former lives, I feel like we were part of the Egyptian and Greeks and Romans. And, they did not believe in strong, just one commitment. They had so many other bonds. I'm not saying in like today's generation or today's world that we're like that, but we tend to get in these relationships that are either fantasy or it's not, how do I put it, not as healthy for us because we don't really know who we are. We get in relationships at a young age. But we don't think it out because we don't know who we are. And I think as water signs, if we figure out really down deep who we are and what we need to fix with our strengths and weaknesses, I feel like we can turn around that toxicity and turn around what partners we meet and fix it in the beginning. So we would have a healthy relationship, especially with the water signs. Because water signs tend to be more sensitive, more emotional, and it could be hard in a relationship. But I feel like if we really know why we're that way, why we have the problems we do, we can fix it, we can turn it around, but it's got to be us. We can turn that karmic energy that has been with us for so long. We can change it, but we have to manifest it, have our securities not be so insecure, get deep into our emotions. And I really feel we can turn it around and have a happy and healthy relationship. But we must get that energy, turn it around and fix it and see why that we're like that. Because our energy is so feminine and it can be strong and feminine, it tends to clash at times. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just knowing who you are and how to balance both. You got to know how to balance your feminine and your masculine energy, and you could probably have a happier relationship. But I do feel because of that karmic wheel and the reincarnation and probably being tied into the Greek, the Romans, and the Egyptians, I think that we could really fix a lot of things. But I'm starting to understand why Pisces is either going through the affairs and the divorces because think about it, like I said, Cleopatra went through that stuff. Yeah, it was crazier back then because after Christ, because that was before Christ, and after Christ came, then we start getting better when it came to marriage and relationship, we got a little bit better, and we weren't marrying our brothers and our sisters and that kind of thing they used to do back then, all that incest. We got a little bit better, but it's the combination of it all, because it was before Christ and then it was after Christ to where we could get better in our relationships. But what happens to water signs, we don't realize that we are connected to that past life before Christ, and we have to fix that in order to have a happy relationship if we can. But I do know that back then they married, and divorces and the relationships, and it was a lot of sensitive anger moods, just war back then. And then Aries is part of that too. And I'm going to get into the Pisces and Aries and Cancer and Scorpio connection that I think too, because Aries was known as God of War. And so is Scorpio, part of that is they're part of the God of War as well. So it just all ties in. And back then they did a lot of astrology. So it all ties in together. And I feel like water signs, if we understand that, I think we can flip it, because I think when we do get together as those couples, we are living back in that time. And then it kind of doesn't work as well unless you fix the karmic wheel, because it's a lot of Pisces and Cancer. I mean, relationships, they last a long time, or they last all forever, but some don't, or they're pulled away to help others, or pulled away for some reason. It's a crazy thing, but there's a special bond, and they forgive each other, and it's a special bond there. And that's why I said that bond between Cleopatra and Caesar, and that bond, how Elizabeth and Mike Todd and then Mark Anthony or Richard Burton, came in, and that bond. But I feel like the water signs, once we start understanding that, maybe, just maybe, we'll know when we get in relationships, what is it that we need to fix so it don't be so toxic? What is it why we do that why we have those two sides, dualities? But I mean, every sign has the duality with the good and the bad. Every sign does, because we're all connected. But with the water signs, since we're compassionate and we're healers, we can fix that. We can fix that. And I think helping others and then coming together in the relationship, I think, will help. But that is my take on why I feel like Pisces and the two other water signs, Cancer and Scorpio, have a hard time in relationships. Because if we go digging deep in, go in our past karmic cycle, I feel like we can fix it. But we have to see where exactly all this is coming from. And I think if we help others and then meet that person and come in as one, and it's we get healthy with our moods and our energy and stuff, that we could have a healthier bond and healthier coping mechanism. So when we do get into a relationship with another water sign or any other water sign, we have learned how to cope and how to get all the insecurities, the jealousy, the moods, is just having to take care of ourselves mentally and physically. So thanks everybody for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all have a great night.